Hello, my name is Simon, and welcome to Big Orbit Cards unboxing video, the latest future card Buddyfight trial deck, H-SD02 Radiant Force. Earlier I also posted a video where I opened up the other new trial deck, H-SD01 Crimson Fist. So remember, everything you see here today can also be purchased as singles on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. So, let's get into these cards. So this trial deck is for the new Hero World. This is a new world. There's been a lot of excitement for it. Oh, there's the tab. There's been a lot of excitement for this world, mostly because of the artwork and the mechanics of it. I gotta say, I'm quite excited for it as well. So, without much further ado, let's get into the cards. So, opening up, we have Rescue Dragon Crossbuster. Now he's a size 2 monster, 7,000 attack, 2,000 defense, and 3 critical. Now he is a vanilla with no abilities, but you do get a nice foily version. So that'll look great as your buddy for the deck. So we'll come back to him in a moment. The next card down the line is Adventure Continent Gumballs. He's a size 3, so he's a nice big monster. 8,000 attack and 8,000 defense with 2 critical. He's got a cool cost, which is 2 gauge, but he does have the double attack ability. So after he's attacked, he can stand again and attack again. As you can see, this is a nice foil version of him as well. So this is a great size 3 monster, 8,000 attack and 8,000 defense. Short of link attacking, there's not a lot that's going to be getting through him. So in the deck you get 4 copies, one of which is a foil. We come back to Crossbuster here. So along with the foil version, you also get 3 normal versions. Then we come to one of the stars of the deck, I think, Echo Hero Soul the Panel Man. His name doesn't sound that exciting, but his ability is. So he's a size 2, 5,000 attack, 2 crit and 1,000 defense. He's got Soul Charge, which means the cast cost of each of your Hero World spells is reduced by 1 gauge, which is a massive boon to have. And when you cast a spell during a battle on your opponent's turn, choose a superhero on your field, and for this battle it gets power plus 1,000 and defense plus 1,000. Now you can only use that ability once per turn, but that is just fantastic to be able to use, especially combined with things like counterattack. But you get 3 of him in the deck, and I would strongly advise going straight up to a 4th with him. Next, we have Heavy Trooper Iron Saver, 5,000 attack, 2,000 defense, and 2 critical, and he's a size 1. Again, he's another vanilla. It's got a very Gundam-esque look to him, which is a little bit out of place with the rest of the sort of a more superhero Power Ranger style artwork, but nonetheless still looks cool. And we get 4 of him in the deck. Then we have Radio Controlled Machine Max Storm. Size 1 monster, 4,000 attack, 3 crit, 2,000 defense, and it costs 1 gauge to play him. It's not too bad. I think the cost is a little bit high, but he is a crit 3, so he's, he can put out some pain and punishment. It's not a bad card to have in the trial deck, but one that you should look at replacing if you're going to, and you get 3 of those in there. You then come to the first of the sort of Power Ranger Super Sentai style guys for the Quartet 5. This is Stray Warrior Via, or Via, I think Via. 4,000 attack, 2 crit, 2,000 defense, and he's a size 1, and he has the Hero World's new mechanic, Transform. So you can pay 1 gauge, and if you do, you can equip him from hand or from a monster space, and he becomes an item instead of a monster. So what's so interesting about the Transform mechanic, because he becomes an item, he has a defense value. So you automatically have a level of defense in front of you on your item if you transform these, which is, it's great. His defense may only be 2,000, but it does mean that your opponent can't sneak through, the odd 1 damage or the low amounts from low level size 0 or level 0 monsters. So I really like the transform mechanic. I think it's really interesting. And thankfully, you get 4 of him in the deck. We then have Cyber Police Hyper Rescue. 4,000 attack, 6,000 defense, 1 crit, and size 1. Again, another vanilla. This guy with 6,000 defense, he's mostly going to be played out sort of like in your center just to help keep you alive for that extra turn, I feel. And you get 3 of those in there. We then come on to the spells. Now this deck has a slightly higher spell ratio, but as you saw earlier with the Echo Hero, that's not a problem because you reduce the costs. But this first spell, Draw Away the Lackeys. Destroy a size 2 or less monster on the left or right of your opponent's field. So this is cool. If your opponent's utilising link attacks and stuff, this is a nice and easy way to get rid of that versatility from them, and you get 2 of those. We then have There, I See It. I love the names of these cards from the Hero World. Cool cost is pay a gauge. Counter, destroy a size 1 or less monster on your opponent's field. A nice and simple destruction spell, only costs a gauge, and again with Echo Hero, it's free to play. And you get 2 of those. We have Justice Will Prevail, another spell. It's a counter, and choose one of your superheroes in battle, and for this battle, it gets +3 power, +3,000 power, +3,000 defense, and counter attack on top. So if it's still alive after it's been attacked, choose a monster that attacked with defense less than equal this card's power and destroy it. Basically, he gets to punch back, and who wouldn't want to with 2 giant drills? So you get 4 of those in there. Then we have It's About Time I Got Serious. You can only cast this if you have 6 or less life, and it costs 1 gauge, but you get to draw 2 cards. Now you can only cast this once per turn, but it's a nice and simple draw spell, which everyone loves, being able to draw cards and give, refill your hand a bit. And we get 2 of those in there. Then we have I've Seen Through Your Moves. Another spell. You can only cast this during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you do not have a monster in the center, and simple counter, nullify the attack. You don't get to gain life or draw cards, but it also doesn't have the stipulation of can't be a link attack, etc. So again, a nice and simple null the attack. Yes, nice and simple. And you get 4 of those in there. Then we have Launch Buddy Police. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you gain 1 life. Now, if you don't have someone like Echo Hero out, there is a lot of gauge being spent throughout the entire deck, so, getting a nice bit of extra fill for free, plus you gain a life on top. It's a nice and simple card. 3 of those. Then we have I'm Still Alive. You may only cast this card when your life would become 0. It costs you 3 gauge, and then counter for this turn. The next time your life would become 0, your life becomes 1 instead. But you can only cast this once per game. Not turn, game. So this spell just helps you stay alive that 1 extra turn just to keep you going and help you defeat your opponent, just to give you that extra bit of time and room. You get 2 in the deck, and that's probably about the right number for a card that you can only use once per game. And then we have just a simple item at the back, Army Rifle Line Thunder. It's got 2,000 attack and 2 critical, so this is definitely aimed at hitting your opponent, not monsters. And then its ability is Act, pay 3 gauge. If you do, put this card into the drop zone and destroy an item on your opponent's field. So item destruction, I get the feeling, is going to start becoming very relevant. So it's nice to see this in the deck. And you get 4 of those. We then have the impact card at the back. So this one is Equation of Victory, Winning Formula. As you can see, they've combined their weapons to form one giant super weapon. Wahaha. Okay, anyway. You only cast this card if your opponent has 3 or less life, and you have a superhero monster on your field, and your opponent has no monsters on his or her field. So it's a little more situational than most impacts. It costs you 2 gauge, and it deals 3 damage to your opponent. So it's not a bad impact card, especially because this one's a nice shiny foil. I feel it's a little bit more situational than most impacts, but impacts are there as finishing moves. So you get 1 in foil, and then you get 2 more normal ones. And last we have the flag. So this is what allows you to play the Hero World in generic cards. So as you can see, the emblem is clearly a Power Ranger Super Sentai helmet, and that's the general sort of feel of the deck. So that's all the cards from the trial deck. Going through over a few just quickly, you can see there's sort of like, you can see this is showing you off the best of the Hero World. You have the start of these, the Superhero, the Quartet 5, so you have a few cards in there linking to those. There's a couple of other archetypes in there as well. What I would quite like to see in future, hopefully with more support, is these Eco Heroes. So with their ability to reduce, this one's ability to reduce the cost of spells, it'd be interesting to see if they do any more Eco Heroes. So yes, that is the Hero World's first trial deck. I think overall the trial deck is quite an interesting one. Introduces new mechanics, such as Transform, which we'll see more of when the Hero World gets supported in the new H-SD02 Neo Enforcer version E, which comes out next week and we'll be doing an unboxing for. The deck's sort of standard, you know, it's not overly aggressive, not overly defensive. It's, you know, just a nice mid-range deck. There's a lot of room to grow. You can go in a couple of different directions. As I said before, definitely max out those Eco Heroes up to 4. There's a couple of the vanilla cards, sort of, you know, radio controlled machine, which you could easily replace with some more useful and versatile cards from the booster set. So there we go. That covers just about everything and all the cards in the trial deck. If you have any thoughts on the new trial deck and Hero World, since it's the brand new world, then let us know. Remember, subscribe and check out our HBT01 Neo Enforcer version E unboxing next week on May the 1st on release. And you can, any cards you see here and from the future booster, you can pick up as single cards and trade in as well on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. So there you go. That's bye from me, Simon, and I will see you next time.